Welcome to the deep dive. We're grabbing your sources and really digging into the key insights.
Yeah, it's your shortcut to getting informed, maybe with a few surprises too.
Definitely. So today we're diving into excerpts from a book, Goodbye, Hurt, and Pain 7 Simple Steps for Health, Love, and Success.
And it's quite a collection. Lots of insights, real stories, all about understanding and, transforming those tough feelings.
Exactly. And our mission here is to explore this really powerful idea from the sources that feelings aren't just noise.
Right, they're actually a feedback system, a really sophisticated one.
And we'll look at how ignoring that system impacts, well, everything, health, success. Then we'll get into a specific method mentioned to REM for actually working with your feelings.
Yeah, to unlock potential healing. Some of the stories and facts are genuinely eye-opening.
Okay, let's just jump right in then. The source material starts with this central idea: success or failure.
In work, relationships, you name it.
It really depends on how we manage our feelings. But here's the strange part of most of us. We just don't stop to think about what we're actually feeling.
It is weird, isn't it? This dance where we, actively try not to think about how we feel.
Maybe because it feels messy or hard to pin down.
Yeah, maybe. But at the same time, we can't stop thinking about it, or at least being affected by it. It's like that old, don't think of a pink elephant thing.
Right. Totally counterintuitive. The source suggests feelings aren't a flaw. They're part of this really intelligent emotional operating system.
Not a handicap at all, more like an internal compass.
Exactly. An internal compass that our thinking brain often just ignores.
Yeah.
Or doesn't know how to read.
Well, and the language is different, isn't it? Feelings don't talk in neat, logical sentences. It's not linear.
Which probably explains why our culture tends to value thinking over feeling. We like logic, data.
Things you can measure.
Right. And emotions, because they feel less controllable, they end up getting feared or judged or just pushed aside.
Instead of being used as, valuable information.
Which brings up a really interesting question, one the source kind of puts to you, the listener.
Yeah. If someone just stopped you right now and asked, what are you feeling?
In this very moment, would you know?
Mm.
Could you actually put a name to it?
It's harder than it sounds sometimes.
It really is. And the cost of not knowing, of ignoring that compass, it's way higher than we might think.
Oh, definitely. The sources make a really strong connection between emotions, especially the ignored ones, and our actual physical health.
The research they cite is, well, it's pretty sobering.
Get this. One study looked at thousands of heart patients.
From Emory University, right?
Yeah. And found women under 55 with depression had double the risk of dying from a heart condition or having a heart attack.
Double the risk. Just from depression.
It's huge. And it's not just depression. The American Institute of Stress says something like 75 to 90% of doctor visits are for stress-related problems.
75 to 90%. That's staggering.
And Madhu Kali's work suggests stress-related disabilities are right up there with things like hypertension or diabetes.
And it gets even more specific. They link repressed anger to autoimmune diseases.
Right, and hostility, that sort of cynical outlook, is linked to coronary heart disease. It's like our body is literally keeping score.
And the personal stories really drive this home. There's Joan.
Oh yeah, hepatitis C for 10 years.
Right, and she works through this deep anger she felt was held in her liver, and then remission, normal liver tests.
It's incredible. Or Rosie with type 2 diabetes, and her imagination comes up with this spider, Harry.
Harry the spider.
Who somehow helps her connect and take better care of herself. It sounds strange, but it worked for her.
And Barbara getting a cancer diagnosis right after her mother died. Processing her feelings about her mom was part of her journey into remission.
There's even that story about the client whose, imaginary mentor correctly spots a bacterial abscess the doctors missed.
Wild. And the author herself noticed her own allergies and fatigue fading when she started paying more attention to her inner state and setting boundaries.
These stories all point to something the source highlights. Our logical problems might seem clear.
Like, I know what the issue is.
Exactly. But then this illogical wave of emotion just swamps everything, and that intense, unprocessed feeling, it doesn't just go away.
No, it goes underground. Creates these subconscious blocks that can trip us up way later.
Chris's story really shows that early trauma, not dealt with, causing problems years down the line.
Okay, so if ignoring all this emotional stuff has such big costs, physically, mentally, what's the alternative? How do we actually work with feelings?
And that's where the source introduces this method, the RIM method, regenerating images in memory.
Regenerating images in memory. Okay.
And The core idea here, maybe the most hopeful one, is that you already have this internal system, an emotional operating system.
That knows how to heal.
Yes, it knows how to deepen good feelings and dissolve painful ones naturally. You just need to learn how to access it.
So it's not about forcing something, but tapping into what's there.
Exactly. It's described as client-generated, body-centered, guided by your own inner sensations and imagination.
The principle being that bad experiences, tough feelings, they don't permanently damage you. Your system knows how to heal.
And this is different from just trying to, think positive or use willpower. RIM gives form to feelings through imagination.
Form, like you see it or feel it somehow.
Yeah, so you can perceive it and transform it visibly, viscerally, not just intellectually.
Okay, giving form to the formless. I like that. The goal is unlocking this inner resourcefulness we all apparently have.
Right. And it uses the languages your subconscious understands, imagination and body sensation.
Imagination translates the emotion, gives it shape, color, texture, weight.
Exactly. The source uses this great analogy like putting on night vision goggles.
Ah, so you can see the forms feelings take in the shadows inside.
Precisely. In your head, your heart, your spirit.
It sounds a bit like dreaming, actually.
It is similar. That non-thinking sensory state is like dreaming. Your logical filter is kind of offline.
And you just experience things viscerally. Research on dreams, even daydreams, shows they often circle around our core concerns and hopes.
So imagination isn't just make-believe. It's a powerful, built-in communicator. Free, always available.
Translating emotion into something the mind can grasp.
And you pair that with paying attention to body sensation. That inner awareness gives you constant feedback.
Sensing the felt body experience, as they call it. Where's the tension? Where's the ease?
Yeah, like the author's husband using body signals to guide his recovery from a back injury when logic wasn't helping. Your body knows.
Okay, so let's see how this plays out with specific difficult emotions. Using the stories from the source. Let's start with fear.
Richard's story is intense. An image pops into his head, his daughter with a gun, and boom, instant rage, urge to attack.
Shows how fear can just hijack the thinking brain, right?
Yeah.
Pure reaction.
Totally. And Paige's story shows how deep fear can stick around. Even as a successful adult, she felt this childhood primal fear.
Sticky. Stronger than reality, she called it.
Yeah, making her feel like she had to be perfect just to survive, until that core fear was actually dissolved, not just managed.
Okay, what about anger? We mentioned the research contrasting repressed anger with, say, anger that leads to insight.
Mary's story is a great example of the insightful kind. She lets go of this tightly wound ball of fury.
Held it for ages, apparently.
Right. And releasing it brings these spontaneous insights about her part in her divorce. She felt lighter, freer.
Even apologized to her ex. That's a real transformation.
Huge. Then there's sadness and grief. The source talks about how loss just shatters that illusion of control we have.
Rachel's story.
Yeah.
Losing her daughter. So devastating. And that image of her daughter's face just got stuck.
Yeah, that ghastly green face. It shows how even positive people can get stuck on these incredibly intense negative images during grief.
But then contrast that with Jane, grieving her father. Through this RIM process, she finds an image of his love imprinted on her heart.
Which freed her from the grief's grip, right? Allowed her to move forward and find love again.
Amazing. And finally, jealousy and envy. Feelings we usually judge pretty harshly.
But the author shares her own experiences. Feeling jealous of Jack Canfield's success actually pushed her towards more visibility.
And envying friends' travels sparked the idea for her own international retreats.
So even uncomfortable feelings, if you engage with them, can offer useful direction, not just things to suppress.
Okay, so people listening might be wondering, how does this actually work? What are the techniques?
The source lays out several key concepts from the RIM method.
One is surprisingly simple. Just close your eyes.
Right. Instantly cuts down the external data overload, turns your attention inward. It's step one for listening inside.
And then breathing, conscious breathing.
Yeah, it bridges the voluntary and involuntary nervous systems, helps you shift from panic or autopilot.
Back to mindful awareness. Holding your breath keeps you stuck in fear, apparently. Breathing helps you think again.
A really core technique is sensing the form of the feeling, like that unsticking feelings activity.
Close eyes, breathe, relax. Notice what grabs your attention inside.
Yeah, notice its size, shape, color, maybe texture or movement. Then, and this is key, you move your attention into it.
And see what comes up. A word, an image, a memory.
Exactly. And just by fully sensing it without fighting it, its intensity often starts to fade naturally.
This sounds like where the virtual resources might come in.
Absolutely. Your imagination can call up these incredibly supportive figures.
Could be real people, like Chris's mom or Sheila's husband.
Or mentors, pets like Alan's dog Max, even angels or spiritual figures like Anita's Michael.
And the source says these feel really real, viscerally. They create empowering new memories.
Yeah, even if your logical mind is going, is this real?
Yeah.
And get this, it mentions research suggesting virtual support can sometimes feel more comforting than having someone physically there.
Wow, that's fascinating. Virtual support feeling more real than real support. Okay.
And then you interact with these images or feelings through dialogue. You actually talk to them.
Like Ashley telling her declining self-image, "You are not me, just a shadow of fear."
Or James talking to his pain, seeing it as a reminder, Mike confronting his bully cousin in his mind, Heather talking to her dad's image.
It allows for a new relationship with the feeling or memory,
Exactly. Another powerful one is looking through another's eyes.
where you imagine seeing a past event from someone else's perspective.
Yes, like Nathan understanding his brother's grief by looking through his eyes. Or the anesthesiologist getting her friend's viewpoint.
Marie used it for intergenerational healing, seeing through her parents' eyes. Lucy understood her daughter's boundaries better. It builds empathy like crazy.
And maybe the most profound is rewiring or redoing memories.
You revisit a past event in imagination,
Yeah,
but experience a different outcome.
a healing one, yeah. Like Mike redoing the memory at his aunt's. Donna redoing being rejected. Callie redoing that college talk.
It's not changing history, but changing the emotional charge it holds for you now, releasing its grip.
Precisely. And once you've worked with the past, you use that same imaginative power for visualizing future outcomes.
Creating a positive blueprint for what's next.
Yeah, like the client whose imagined movie of building her nonprofit played out exactly like that in reality.
Or Paul revising his future image to include a better social life. And it happened. Rosemary visualizing her exams and feeling calmer.
Your imagination can literally help build your future by creating that internal resonance.
So this all comes back to embracing the whole self, doesn't it? Body, mind, spirit.
Yeah, the source really pushes this idea that engaging with the ugly feelings is just as vital as the positive ones. It's natural.
Leads to self-awareness, choice, and ultimately back to joy.
They use that metaphor of emotional stains, not permanent flaws, just things to be cleared with self-compassion.
Revealing what's underneath.
And it connects to that idea of presence, the part of you that feels timeless, that knows things, attracts serendipity.
That feeling of being fully alive, maybe born for a reason.
Exactly. It's reminding you that you're more than just thoughts or feelings. Body, mind, spirit, they all blend together.
The science backs this up too, right? Van der Kolk's smoke detector brain versus the mindful watchtower.
Right. Shifting out of alarm mode lets you access that more evolved, resourceful self.
And the idea of whole brain function. The right brain visionary working with the left brain administrator.
That's where genius happens, apparently. Like Salk, Einstein, the Wright brothers. It wasn't just logic.
It involved intuition, vision. Our emotional system is way smarter than we think.
Wow, what a journey this deep dive has been. We started with understanding emotions as this intelligent feedback system,
So the real physical cost of ignoring them.
and then explored a method like RIM, showing practical ways to use imagination and body sense to heal and unlock potential.
Tapping into something that's already there.
It really underscores this fundamental truth. The power is within you. You can understand and shift your felt experience anytime.
Just by turning attention inward and trusting that inner system.
Yeah.
So if we leave you with one final thought to chew on, drawing from these sources, consider this. Maybe your capacity for real wholeheartedness, for living fully. Maybe it's directly tied to how willing you are to engage with all your feelings, even the ugly ones. What might embracing those seemingly negative feelings actually reveal about the unlimited presence and wisdom waiting inside you?